about some daily used, things or daily used foods or daily consumed stuff that actually involve chemistry. Basically, everything you see around yourself is chemistry. We drink water, we breathe air. This air is basically air is basically a composition of different types of elements, but the main ingredient of the air is nitrogen. It's almost 72% nitrogen that is present in the air. Oxygen, there's also, oxygen, there's carbon dioxide, there's, plenty other gases, plenty other elements and materials present in the air. So this is basically a chemical compound, you can say, or chemical composition, you can say. Next on, we drink water, right? So water is basically hydro. This is the chemical formula of water, by the way. H2O. So it means that it contains hydrogen and oxygen, and also water. There's natural mineral salts are also dissolved in water. So how water helps us? Water is basically a universal solvent. Anything can be dissolved in water. Anything can be mixed with water. Obviously, there are some, exceptions, but uh, you know. Keeping aside the exceptions, maximum things can be dissolved in the water, right? And water is used for everywhere and for every purpose. We wash our clothes, we drink water, and waters contain mineral salts which actually help us to which actually help us, because mineral salts are very necessary for human consumption as well as for plants as well. So plants actually take their nutrients, which are basically ions of metals and non-metals, and they take them from the water, and in the water these ions are basically dissolved. Say for example, in the water we have calcium ions, we have sodium ions, we have magnesium ions. Okay, so we have different types of ions present in it. Okay, so these ions are consumed by the plants, because plants need different types of ions for different types of purposes. Okay, then we use paper, right? We take our test on the paper. We draw on the paper. We make art out of paper. So paper is also a chemical compound. You can say this is basically cellulose, because plants, we make papers out of plants. So that's also a chemical composition. That's here is also chemistry involved. If you wanna talk about this involvement of chemistry with your daily usable things, then this conversation can go on and on for a long period of time, because chemistry is literally everywhere. Okay, next on, we have like different types of pesticides, right? So pesticides are used in order to kill the germs. So there are two different things which are used for agricultural purpose. One is fertilizer, one is pesticide. Now fertilizers are those chemical compounds which actually help to grow the plants, which actually benefit the plants. On the other hand, pesticides are those compounds which don't directly benefit the plants, but what they do is they kill the bacteria, or they kill the insect which might harm the plants, and that's how they actually help the plants. Okay, they don't provide any kind of nutrition to the plants. Okay, they don't do that. Instead of doing that, they kill the germs or bacteria or the insects which might harm the crops, which might harm the yes, which might harm the crops. Okay, so yeah, that's also chemical composition. That's also chemical compound. Usually pesticides or fertilizers. These include calcium, magnesium, sodium, these types of metals, or sulfate ion, or nitrate ion, or chlorine ion. These types of ions are present. Okay, so these things, these sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, these basically are present in pesticides and in fertilizers, which actually help the crops. Okay, and we brush our teeth, right? We brush our teeth with a paste, and that paste is basically a cleansing product, right? It actually cleans the germs out of your teeth. Okay, so it kills. So it has basicity, or it has alkaline properties. Okay, because alkalines are really good. They can clean very well. Do you know that in the ancient Greek era, people used to use their urine to clean their clothes? I know that's very gross, but that's actually a true fact. And why did they do that? Because they our urines actually contain ammonium, right? And ammonia is basically a base, or you can say alkali. And bases and alkalis are used for cleaning, because they can clean the germ out of the product, or out of the utensil, or out of the clothes, out of the clothes. So that's why people during that time they used urine to wash their clothes. Okay. So yeah, that's basically that's basically a small, I would say a very small portion, or a very small amount of knowledge that we have just talked about. You can just continue this conversation for a long period of time, because everywhere you see around yourself you will find examples of chemistry.